So I'm going to repair my starter today. This is the same starter you'll find in ATVs, snowmobiles, a number of different things. This is a pretty good starter too. It's a Denso, D-E-N-S-O. I don't know if you can see that, but just gutless and no power to turn over anymore. And it's likely just the brushes on the back. That's usually what it is. So I'm going to show you how to just repair your starter and save yourself a ton of money. And instead of buying a cheap knockoff starter, you can repair the good one. So if you look here, you're going to see a mark. I put that on there before I pop things apart, so I make sure when I put it back together it's in the right place. There's only 2 bolts, but it still makes it easy to line it up when I'm sliding it on, knowing that the bolts are going to go in properly. So I'm going to take these bolts off the end here. I'm going to pull them out. And we're going to get those out, and then take the end off here. Okay, so I pulled the bolts out of here, and I've popped the cover off, and you'll hear the brushes snap out as it pulls back. So I have it out, and you can see the brushes here, and they're spring loaded into their slots. In any case, to remove this assembly now, I have to undo the locking nut here. So there's the nut that was holding the cable on. So now I have to remove this lock nut to get it out of there, so that I can actually pull the brush assembly out of the end of the housing. There we go. I'll take that off. And this should wiggle out of there. There we go. I'm going to push that in. And there we go. You can see it's attached. The lug is attached to one of the brushes. You can see there's a rubber seal on here. We don't want to lose that. So you can see how it's attached to the brush. Now, this mount has a spring that's holding the brushes in. You can see it pushes them in. Now, what I'm actually going to show you here is how to put this back together and how to clean your starter up. So you can go and purchase this, and this is actually a new one that I just repaired. So I'm just taking it apart to show you how to do this. So I had just repaired this one, and this starter was junk. So if you look at the armature and the contact points, all you really need to do is, if you have steel wool or really fine sandpaper, give this a real fine cleaning. Spray it with some cleaning, or wipe it with some solvent just to clean all the gunk off. And then you're ready to go with the new brushes. 99% of the time, the brushes have worn, there's not enough pressure, or you even get carbon buildups across these little contactors. So you want to do a bit of a cleanup on that before you put it back together. So now I'm going to show you how you reassemble. But if you look in the link for the video, you can buy these assemblies, and that's all there is to it. They're not expensive. And 9 times out of 10, this is all that's wrong with your starter. So I'm going to show you now how you go about getting this back together. So if your brushes are popped out like this one is, you're going to see where the brush slides in, there's a slot. And that slot is where the wire, the contact for the brush, has to go. So there's only one way the brush can go in there, and that is like this. So now you can see, with the brush in place, the wire is not making contact. It can slide in and out and make good contact with the brush. So that's how the brush sits when it's in there. Now, this whole assembly has to go over the armature, and these have to be sprung in place to make contact again. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just standing the starter up like this. I'm going to put this over top, but you can see it won't slide over because the brushes are in the way. So I'm going to just use my fingers, and I'm going to compress those brushes. I'm going to get them in there like so. And now you can see I have just slid the armature plate back over. so it's in place again. I've got it in a little bit too far there. We'll just get it back out. There we go. So now the armature plate is in, the brushes have spring on them, and it's kind of being held in place there. So what I have to do now is get this lug back through the housing. So when I marked my housing, I used my magic marker. So you can see that's my magic marker mark, and it's right where the lug has to go. So I'm going to rotate this and turn it so the lug is approximately lined up there. And now it's just a little bit of being finicky with the cap to get the cap on here. And if you look in here, this actually goes through the cap with this block sideways like this, like it is right there. So we're going to get that piece through there. So all I'm going to do is just finagle it. So I'm going to just use a little bit of care and try and slide that over top and wiggle that stud back through the hole. And it might take you some time to get this, but there we go. It just slid in there quite easily. I was lucky there. So obviously I've got my marks here. So I want to try and get this now back in place with the with everything in place here to get it back down. Now keep in mind you've got a bushing and a bearing up top here. So we're going to get this thing lined up so everything slides back down into place. So I couldn't get the cap on, so I had to look closely. And you will see in here, I hope you can see this, you can see there's like a keyway on the side and a notch in this plate. I was turned just a little bit too far clockwise, so the plate would not slide down far enough and go over that keyway to make room for the cover. So you can tell if you're in all the way, because when you look at this on the side, the brushes should be at least down just past the edge. The brushes should not be sticking up above. So now that I have the plate all the way down and in that keyway so it can't rotate, you can see that my lug is actually in the right place. So I just had to move it probably a 1/4 inch to get it to go pop into there. So now I'm going to finagle that cover back on again. So I have my cover in place, my lines line up, and they have to be exact because you'll find there's a little bit of a keyway there again. The cover won't go right on until you get it in that exact spot, and then the pieces slip in. There's a couple of indents again there, right? Now, the bolt, be sure it's incorrect, because if I push this in and turn it a bit, it won't come all the way out. Because of the shape of that square piece of plastic on the other side, you have to have it horizontally so that the bolt actually comes all the way back, in which is what I've got right now. So while I'm holding this, I'm going to take the bolts again that held it back together and put them in. There's a little O-ring on these bolts to seal the enclosure as well. And you'll find when you're taking these bolts out, if you're having a hard time pulling them out, it's just because the O-ring is stuck in there, and they will come out. It's just you may feel a smooth but steady resistance trying to pull them out, and that's just the O-ring. So we're gonna put those in. I'm just keeping a little pressure on this because there is a bit of spring with the brushes and a couple of cupped washers on the end of the armature shaft. I don't want it to pop out of place, so I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on it while I do this. And here we are. So I'm going to just snug these up now and come right back. So your starter plate, if you bought new brushes, it might have come with the new O-rings, especially this one here. So I just want to show you quick with it together. You can see the smooth part of the stud protruding there. That's how you know it's out all the way. If I push this in a bit and turn it, it won't come out. It has to be in the correct place. And then it works best if you put that O-ring on now. And the O-ring, it's not really an O-ring, it's a piece of flattened rubber. and it will slide right into that hole when we tighten up. So the seal will be made on the outside. So that's the better way to put the O-ring back in and tighten that down. So I'm actually using a screwdriver on the outside to get that rubber into the slot so that when I tighten this screw, I have a good seal. So it's a little tricky because it may have enlarged a little since you have had the starter if you're using an old one, or the new one. It just might be a little tight fit, but it does go in there and you can kind of slide it all in around, and then it'll be compressed really well and make a great seal. So there we go. It's back in there. The rubber, the piece of insulator's down, and we're just going to snug this up now again. And again, there's a question as to how tight you want to do it, because you are tightening a piece of plastic. I'm just using my better judgment, snugging it up good, and we should be good to go there. Okay, so it's all back together. We're going to give it a quick test, and you can tell if this has repaired your problem, because you probably may have, if you had the starter out and you tried to activate it, if it spun, it was gutless. Now you've really got to hold the starter in place, and I'm going to get a spark when I ground this, but this thing is going to want to jump because there should be power there now. You can see it's actually twisting the whole starter even when I'm trying to hold it. So obviously those brushes fixed my problem. So this starter, she's good to go again, and I now have a spare for my snow machine. Very easy to do, and 9 times out of 10, that's all your problem is you need a new set of brushes. Anyway, if you found this useful, please like and subscribe to my videos.